Our mission is to treat musculoskeletal injuries, pain, post-op care, to get you feeling your best as soon as possible so that you can do your mission. We have our main clinic here at Wilford Hall. That's where most of us are Monday through Friday. We have operations at BMT where we see the basic trainees. We have a physical therapist down in the family health clinic. We have one in the family emergency clinic, and then the virtual health, yep. So we have some working from home when they're not in the clinic with the virtual health platform.
I'm currently taking the lead on the family health clinic. So what we're trying to do here is offload the primary care providers with that musculoskeletal population. If eventually that patient needs to be sent to therapy anyway, if we can intercept them and then free up some more time for the primary health providers to see the sick patients and more the medical issues, then we can achieve our primary mission and at the same time help support all the other providers as well.
I've recently started working down in the Family Emergency Center, or the FEC. If a patient presents with a primarily musculoskeletal complaint, if they think it's appropriate for physical therapy, they'll come chat with us. We will evaluate, set up a plan of care, and kind of get them where they need to be. If it's in physical therapy, if it's back with their primary care, for us to be down there and to catch it sooner is beneficial for the patient.
So we oversee physical therapy coverage and rehabilitation for the trainee population. So that includes all of BMT, that includes Security Forces Tech School, a couple other tech schools, Army Echo Company is over here, as well as the Defense Language Institute. And so our job is keeping them in training or returning them to training and just addressing any of their musculoskeletal injuries. Describing to them, providing reassurance, education, and kind of give them some tools going forward. Along that side is a lot of stress management techniques in this stressful environment that can compound their ability to rehab from a musculoskeletal injury. So kind of taking that psychosocial approach as well is really important, and it sets up for good habits going forward.
So yeah, telehealth was forced by necessity, right? Started with phone calls, and then that kind of evolved into virtual health. So what that serves is it's a nice avenue, especially if someone needs maybe some low-level care or just some education and some guidance. That usually is addressed pretty well with a virtual health appointment. The other thing is to keep tabs on patients, because if there is anything that is significant or concerning for serious pathology, we can help kind of get them into the right channels just to make sure that those conditions aren't getting overlooked. But again, that virtual telehealth does serve a nice purpose, just to kind of be that intermediate step between no care and traditional care.
I've not had any problems with people who we do manage solely over telehealth. The patients who are more severe and maybe a little bit more irritable, those I think are the ones that might be appropriate to bring in. And then when they come in, obviously the symptoms maybe decrease in irritability and decrease in severity, just because we are able to have a little bit more of that face-to-face, hands-on approach that we can't have over the phone. The crux of telehealth, at least military and DoD-wide, is that we can use it when we are deployed and when there are people who we can't necessarily get to, but they can still receive care, and I think that's great.
Ultimately, it comes down to screening. So even if we're not able to see the patient face-to-face, or we get our hands on the patient, we can identify, is this something that they just need to take a day off? Is there something that we can cycle them within their team where they have a different role that's not as strenuous for a couple days? Or is this something that we need to pull this person off this team and they need to get medevaced for some more serious care? So ultimately, I think it's just going to continue to improve total force readiness, because again, we can identify who, and triage patients based upon their need and acuity and ultimately what they're going to need long term to kind of stay in the fight and maintain their readiness.